Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. You know what it is. Oh shit, my headphones went out for a second there. Hold on. All right, yeah, now I can hear myself. Yeah, so we're live. We back. Trip to Orlando show every Tuesday live here at the Danxa Project. We about to get some business. We stepping things up. Shout out to my boy Nova. We got a new thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? With topics and all of that. Like, we stepping it up little by little, man. So I appreciate all y'all that are rocking with me on the Trip to Orlando show here on the Danxa Project. So before we get started, you know how we got to do things every week. I can't get turned up unless we hear the theme song. So without any further ado, we got to let it ride.
Feeling the weight like a suitcase of stress. Time to pack it up and leave the mess.
Let's go.
Hop on a ride to a brighter glow.
Hey.
It's not just a trip, it's the ultimate show. Trip to Orlando, the getaway you need.
All right.
Laughs and reviews at lightning speed.
Come on.
Trip to Orlando where fun runs free.
All right.
Your ticket to the stars and celebrity.
Woo! All right. Now that we got that thing started, this is the Trip to Orlando show. I am your host, Orlando, and again, we are on the Danxa Project. It's more than just a podcast. Like Danxa say, it's a network, and this is some of the various pieces of content available to you on the Danxa Project. So, if you're new here, you know how we do it. Go live every Tuesday, talk to the people, you know what I'm saying? Give you some insights and vibes and just how I look at shit. You know what I mean? I'm just a nigga who smoke weed and, you know, I like to, you know, check out things on the internet and give my opinions. Plus, I'm old, bro. I've been here for a while, so I can tell you about how shit did in the 90s and how things were wicked back then and whatever, give you a perspective. So that's a lot of ways I be tackling issues, you know what I'm saying? Just give it from that type of perspective, right? So, a lot of crazy news, right? Breaking news, 6ix9ine home invasion. Probably the gentlest home invasion I ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? They was very polite and sweet with the man, mother, and everything. I'm not making fun of the situation. I'm just being honest. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Later on the show, we gonna really unpack that because Dan's gonna be here with me. We gonna talk about it. We had the honor and the pleasure of going to. He introduced himself as Danny, going to Danny's house and doing an interview with. It was a lot of fun. He's a cool dude, very, very respectable guy. But at the same time, like, we been to that crib, bro. Like, that shit is not the easiest thing to run up in. It's not the easiest thing to get away from. So that whole scene, you know what I mean? I can't put it past nobody, but we'll delve deep into that. But the normal format of the show, as y'all know, go like this, right? We talk about the story of the week. I'm going to talk about the show of the week and go give you a review of the movie of the week, right? So the story of the week this week, I mean, again, this week is crazy. We're going to talk about the 6ix9ine shit, but on top of that, you know, you have the Epstein files, you know what I mean? Like, at the time of taping, they just passed the bill in the House to send it to the Senate, which, I don't know, maybe... Hopefully it'll go through and become a law that they basically open up the Epstein files and we all see all the crazy shit that's in there, but who knows, right? But speaking of lawsuits, to me, what we gonna talk about now is Roc Nation. Woo. I mean, it's crazy because like I said, right, I'm from that era, so I'm from like the whole Rockefeller Records and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And watching Jay-Z come up from the Hard Knock Life from before Beyonce times, all of that shit. So I'm a diehard Jay-Z fan. I'm one of them people that was on the block arguing about who best, Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z, or Nas. Like I'm from that. So to see the amount of controversy and crazy shit that go along with Roc Nation, to me, is wild. Like the vibe I be thinking is that saying that go like, the hero lived long enough to become the villain. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole vibe I get from that whole Roc Nation thing, because the way their business was set up, I thought it was going to be something that's beneficial to artists and beneficial to the industry as a whole. But it seems like the Roc Nation is now the boogeyman of the industry. Very litigious. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Very just sue you. Very just like put you back in a corner, hit you with a deposition, hit you with a private investigator. Just crazy, crazy, crazy work. And I never would have thought that Jay-Z would be the face of this. You know what I'm saying? All the issues that they have with Meg Thee Stallion versus Tory Lanez. Now they batted up academics. They batted up Aiden Ross. You know what I'm saying? Academics just put a stream where they said, I don't know if that was a lawyer or an investigator or whatever, to talk to this dude, Grand Wizard, one of the mods or whatever, social media manager. Like, just real crazy work. And the wildest shit now is what's going on with Uzi Vert. You know what I'm saying? So come to find out, Uzi Vert had Roc Nation settle a sexual harassment lawsuit against a former personal assistant. Like, that whole concept is wild to me because Uzi, the nigga is so little and sassy, dog. It's wild to me that he over here like forcing himself on people or whatever, but that's what he's doing. And the Roc Nation arm of his management basically swept under that shit, all that shit under the rug. So, I mean, shout out to my boy Hello Yassine. He broke it down.
That booty. What the hell is going on here?
See what I'm saying?
Ironically, defendant Woods himself summed up precisely how unlawful his perception and treatment of plaintiff Doe were when he wrote her, "You are more than my assistant. You are my B."
Yeah, this is Uzi, bro. The nigga with the fucking handbags and the shoulder roll and all that wild shit. You know what I'm saying? The nigga who look at the bitch all sideways and shit. This is what he on. This is the type of time he's on behind closed doors. So basically, this is the lawsuit from the assistant saying that he do all type of nasty business to her behind closed doors.
I'm like, damn, he's moving like this? And the defendant could endure no more of Uzi's unlawful behavior. His constructive discharge of her coincided with her suffering severe emotional distress and prolonged physical illness. After years of loyally serving the defendant, she now brings this action to seek a measure of closure and justice for a years-long pattern of employment law violations, abuse, and harassment. So the reason why this is bad is because with the allegations, it ties in Roc Nation, and they also want Uzi to appear good because that helps them. You guys remember how like a lot of things with both Uzi and Cardi, you could say that.
See, but this is what I'm talking about, or this is what I want to talk about, right? The idea that Roc Nation uses this immense legal force to defend their artists and by extension push a narrative for their artists. The question is why, right? So like nowadays, Roc Nation, at least in my perspective, is more known for their legal action and, you know, their management duties. And just today, as a matter of fact, they put out the streaming digital service where essentially they're going to hold a split that's a little bit out of the norm, right? So they provide those type of services, but again, they're now more in the news for the legal action. And the question is why? Like, do most people even know what Roc Nation is or what it does? Because it kind of goes back a little further to my time. You know what I'm saying? Because Roc Nation, for those who don't know, is more than just a record label, right? They do record label functions as the distribution platform that they're promoting today, but they're essentially a management service, right? A management service for artists and athletes, right? And the reason why that is actually essentially a genius move on the part of Jay-Z is because he had the record label before, right? He had the Rockefeller Records that went south for whatever reason, let Dame tell it, right? But the thing about having a management company is this, right? If I have a record label, essentially anybody who's signed to my label, that's my business. I work with them. So if I have a roster of 5 artists, that's who I deal with. If I have a roster of 15 artists, that's who I deal with. But I can only work with them in the confines of my record label and my distributor or whatever. So in other words, I have one distribution channel and I have one network of artists if I have a record label, right? Now with a management company, you can actually sign a bunch of different artists from different record labels and different distribution chains. So in other words, you could have one artist that's on Universal, one artist that's on Sony, one artist that's here, so on and so forth. And then you could still, like Roc Nation does, offer the label services a la carte, as they say, to people as they need them. Because when I did the research, I think Roc Nation has a roster of like 26 artists, some wild shit, which is more artists possibly than Rockefeller Records ever had, right? So from a business point of view, I can understand why Roc Nation is management. The real question is, where did they come from? And I don't know if people actually ask themselves that. Because right now, Roc Nation is running around suing everybody. I feel you. That's cool. That's what we're known for, right? So where did they come from? Well, it turns out that the reason why Roc Nation exists is because they are a subsidiary of a company called Live Nation. And if you've gone to a concert, you know exactly who Live Nation is. They are the reason why shit is so expensive, because they basically own Ticketmaster, right? Which is the ticketing platform that does all of the major venues. And that is the wild shit about the time that we're living in now. See, because back in my day, when I did young, I could go to a fire concert for like $20. You know what I'm saying? 30, maybe 40, right? And I'm not talking about inflation. The reason why shit costs so much money now is because there's no more competition. See, back in the day, Ticketmaster had a competitor called Ticketron. And the way that they would compete is very crucial, because that actually affects the way shit's happening right now. See, Ticketmaster at some point got the bright idea that, hey, man, if you want to come to any stadium, you got to come through us, because we got the contracts to all of the major stadiums, all of the big venues. So to the point that they had exclusive contracts where you could only deal with Ticketmaster, and Ticketron or whoever else could go fuck themselves, because Ticketmaster is the only game in town if you want to perform at an arena, a stadium, or any other big venue. So when Ticketmaster merged with Live Nation, they started coming up with what they call this vertical integration of the music industry. Because after a while, when music sales and internet took over, music sales dropped when the internet took over, the only way for artists to really make some money was through touring and merchandising. So Live Nation kind of stepped in and figured out a way to work the system to where they owned all of the avenues for merchandising and performing. And then Roc Nation is a subsidiary of that. So basically, they control all of the events. If you are an artist that wants to tour and you want to perform at a big venue, you essentially have to go through Roc Nation, because Roc Nation is part of Live Nation, who basically has exclusive contracts with any venue that will seriously make money. So the shit is crazy. It's basically, if you look at the music industry as two halves of a whole, where you have record labels on one side and production of music, and then you have touring and ticketing and merchandising on the other side, Roc Nation basically just jumped ship from one side to the other, and they're like, hey, man, this is where all the money at. So we're going to control all of that. So let me find this shit here. This shit break it down to a T.
To promote album sales, that entirely flipped. Now you put out music so that you can go on tour and sell tickets and merchandise.
Behind the scenes of any tour are 4 main businesses: the artist, the promoter, the venue, and the ticketing platform. Back in 2010, Live Nation merged with Ticketmaster, creating Live Nation Entertainment.
There was immediate backlash. This was the world's largest concert promoter teaming up with...
So if you old enough, you remember back in the day, Pearl Jam was talking that shit. They were like, yo, Ticketmaster, yo, them a fuckery. They the reason why ticket prices is shooting up to $60, $70, $80. Because once they took over from the other competitor, they had the exclusive contracts with all the major venues. So in other words, no competition means you set the price. You understand? So according to this model, Live Nation controls all this shit. They control Ticketmaster, which has the ticketing. They have the exclusive contracts with the venue, and they're the ones mainly promoting. The only thing that they didn't control was the artist. And that is where Roc Nation comes in. Roc Nation now connects the artist to all of that. So in other words, it's almost like extortion. If you are an artist and you want to do any of this shit over here, that means that you need to sign with us. Roc Nation, aka Live Nation. That's just the way it is.
With the largest purveyor of tickets.
Over the last 15 years, Live Nation has employed a flywheel business model to gain a stake in every major business in the live events industry.
The flywheel is something that executives at Live Nation have talked about publicly on investor calls for years. This has been something that investors have very much cheered on, and we've seen their stock go up and up over the years. But now it's something that the DOJ has identified specifically as problematic.
As part of its antitrust lawsuit, the U.S. Department of Justice included this graphic to illustrate how Live Nation can reinvest profits from its high-margin businesses into its lower-margin businesses.
They are vertically integrated, and that allows them to take losses on their...
And that's what I'm saying. So Roc Nation to them is part of that whole integration process. So in other words, it don't even matter what label you're signed to. If you want to perform and make money, instead of the label signing you to a 360 deal, now you are over here with Roc Nation, and they control all of that. So if we go back to the whole flywheel shit, you see this piece down here? Sponsorships and advertising? That is the real reason why Roc Nation is the boogeyman right now. Because any artist that's signed to them, in my opinion, they have this vested interest that they want to make sure that nothing is going to inhibit their chances to get brand deals, sponsorships, and all that type of lucrative ad money that comes their way when you have a super successful artist that can be the face of brands. So because of that, their legal team has took on this outsized, almost like very aggressive stance with anything that they deem as to be contrary to whatever narrative they want to promote for their artist. So you can't be out here saying that Meg Thee Stallion is a liar or she's this or that. Boom, Roc Nation on it. You can't be saying that. What's another scandal? Uzi Vert is out here doing all type of wild shit to women and assistants behind closed doors. Nah, we gonna take care of that and make sure that goes away. So pick a scandal that's evolved, even down to the wild shit that academics in them is going through, right? Where they're saying that one of the executives has this crazy relationship with her daughter, and she's using the legal power of Roc Nation to get her like conservatorship or get her locked up. All these crazy allegations. And I start doing my research, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, bro, like, what is the situation? Why does Roc Nation have such an outsized legal team? And again, simple talk with ChatGPT or anything like that, and they'll tell you really quickly. The reason why is because Roc Nation has a social justice arm where basically they mount all these legal defenses on all types of stuff. Everything from prison reform to negotiations on social justice initiatives, just crazy stuff that seems outside of the realm of a music/management company. But my personal theory is that with all those lawyers on retainer, they kind of do the Al Sharpton thing where they point the finger at certain people, and then next thing you know, Jay-Z runs the NFL halftime show. That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. the way the whole Roc Nation thing is going, I really believe that any artist in this current era that goes against that legal team is going to face a bunch of problems. And I know Nicki Minaj got the narrative that they're using their antics with Aiden Ross and academics as a way of distracted from whatever personal legal issues that the executives got. But the point is this, right? You can look this up. This is a fact. They were started essentially by Live Nation back in 2008, straight $150 million given to them by Live Nation so they could go ahead and develop this artist management arm. So basically, if we go back to the flywheel, they can control the artist part and basically funnel everybody directly into their system. But if you look up Live Nation's current net worth, they're only worth $75 million. So theoretically, they're losing money. And also, I mean, they're losing public interest as well. You know, there's no reason why Roc Nation shouldn't be viewed as the boogeyman. I mean, we got academics going live every day talking about the shit. We even got Ada Ross talking about the shit. So, not to mention Nicki Minaj talking about the shit. So, they're not currying goodwill with all this legal action. If anything, they're doing the opposite. And again, like I said, if you go by the numbers, it doesn't really look like they're making a bunch of money either. So, to what gain is all this working? So, I don't know. So, we love Hove. He's our guy. I grew up with him, and he's our hero, but I'd hate to see his legacy tarnished and he become the villain through all of this crazy shit. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a unasked for opinion, but that's my story of the week. And I feel like we're going to hear more and more shit about Roc Nation in the future. But I don't know. I mean, they're running a monopoly. They're going to win in the long run. All right, cool. So moving along. I'm going to go into the show of the week later because it's it. I'm going to go into episode 4 of my review of that. But I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to do the movie of the week. So my girl told me, like, hey, man, check this out, man. There's some cool shit on Netflix. It's the Eddie Murphy documentary. So shout out to Eddie Murphy, man. Like I said, I'm old, man. That was my hero back in the day, bro. I was like, oh, shit, Eddie got a goddamn documentary. This shit better be fire. I was like, yo, because normally them Netflix documentaries hit, bro. I remember watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. That shit was fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like mostly even like their regular shit about regular people. Them shits normally be fire. Like I watched the documentary, it was a good one too. Pee Wee Herman documentary was straight. Like I like documentaries that show you, oh, the Charlie Sheen one is the one I was thinking about, yo. That Charlie Sheen one was fire, right? So I'm watching this and I'm thinking, yo, all right, this is gonna be dope. Man, let me tell you something, bro. It's light, man. It's light. It don't tell you really nothing about Eddie Murphy, bro. Like, I thought this was going to be his big, like, deep dive into why he made this movie versus that movie and who he did beef with and what problems he had and all that. Man, you can watch a YouTube documentary and it'll give you way more information. Like, it's cool to see that he's doing good and he's healthy and he's happy and whatnot. But, like, he ain't talk about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he talked a little bit about Charlie Murphy, and I know he felt bad about his brother and whatnot, but this is not, like, no deep dive on Eddie Murphy, bro. I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm watching it, and it's short. It's like an hour and a half or whatever. And, bro, the man talk about, like, his childhood and that cool stuff and, like, leading up to Saturday Night Live. And then, basically, it's about, yo, I left Saturday Night Live, became a movie star, shit was good. And then that was it. And then like he was mad about somebody from Saturday Night Live tried him in a skit and he was salty about that. And he was just saying how he didn't come back to Saturday Night Live for 30 years over a joke that they made that he ain't like. Like, he ain't really come off, like, good in the shit. You know what I'm saying? He came off, like, mad petty. You know what I'm saying? And I know he had beef with the director for Coming to America and 48 Hours. They ain't talk about none of that shit. The man had a whole wife and, like, 4 kids. He ain't talk about none of them. You know what I'm saying? He just said, like, the new white one is cool and she's a little easier to get along with. But he really ain't talk about nothing. I would think that Eddie Murphy could get a whole miniseries, like the way they did Arnold Schwarzenegger. How Schwarzenegger shit was like 6 hours long, and you could break it up into like 3 parts. I thought that they was gonna do that, and they could have did it because it was broken up into sections. It was like before he got famous, Saturday Night Live, then he got famous, and then he was like, I fell off, and I came back a little bit. And like that whole section, he ain't break down. Like he literally said it, this shit, yeah, you know, I made some bad movies. And then just kept it moving. Like he ain't explained why he made Vampire in Brooklyn or why he made Pluto Nash or whichever one of them fuckery movies, you know what I'm saying? Or why he did whatever, you know what I'm saying? He ain't explained none of that shit. He was just like, he talked about coming to America because he was like, yeah, I'm kind of lonely and I feel like people don't really like me for me. And then he talked about a little bit of Boomerang. But other than that, this nigga have 15, 20 fucking movies and he ain't explained why he made none of them shits. Really. Oh, he talked about Harlem Nights because he did say that him and Richard Pryor kind of had beef for a little bit because they used to compare each other a lot. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't really talk about nothing. It's just him in his big house chilling, really, you know? And shout out to him, but that was not what I was expecting. I really thought that we was going to get a deep dive into Eddie flaws and all. And you know, Eddie have the controversy where he, quote unquote, gave a streetwalker a ride. And not just any streetwalker, streetwalker, you know what I'm saying? So, and then that streetwalker allegedly and is no longer here with us, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't even allude to that shit. That's why I fuck with the Charlie Sheen documentary, because he went into all that shit. He went into the good, the bad, the ugly. He revealed new shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the documentary while I was done, I was like, damn, that nigga there lived one hell of a life. That's crazy as fuck. But with Eddie Murphy shit, I'm like, bro, yeah, Shrek was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the vibe it was giving me. So, I don't know, y'all. I watched it. Y'all can watch it. Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. Maybe I'm tripping. Put it in the comments. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? All right. But yes, now moving on to some fly shit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we gonna go through all 8 of these motherfucking episodes, right? Because I fuck with this shit heavy.
What they want me to do to you, it's not gonna be pleasant.
Yes,
You duck and cover.
Whatever killed Teddy, Phil, and Susie, it came after us again last night in the cemetery.
You duck and cover.
You'll have to go on record with the truth.
The truth is, I ain't do nothing to those kids. What the hell do you have us chasing?
Duck, cover, duck, cover, duck, cover, duck, cover, duck, cover, duck, cover.
Let me tell you right now, this is some good fucking television right here, bro. Hey, 4 Sundays in a row, it ain't let me down yet. You know what I'm saying? They had one little calm episode what I was telling you about before, but like, yo, shit turned up again in episode 4. This show is wicked. I don't care what nobody say. Watch the shit, bro. It's good. So, again, I was worried that maybe they was going to be on some super black shit and kind of like, you know, just, I don't want to say pander to niggas, but, you know, kind of pander to niggas a little bit. But they didn't do all that. It got the black shit, right? So they got that aspect. Then they talk about the Native Americans, and it gives more backstory onto where the shit came from and how the Native Americans have been dealing with it over time and the different forms it take and all this shit like that. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then it also goes back to like the kids and what they dealing with. And like now, the shit just terrorizing more and more people. And I don't know what to say, man. Like the special effects, the monsters, the vibe, because by nature of the way that this monster is, it can take any form. So they really, really, really make good use of that. And every episode, like, it's episode 4, we ain't even see the fucking clown yet. And I'm with that. Because I feel like the shit would be boring if it was just the same thing over and over again in new situations. But nah, they take it there. They make the shit take new forms in unique situations every single episode. So it's like you get a little bit of the creature of the week. It got an unfolded story. It got a couple different layers. There's like a cultural, racial aspect to it too, which grounds it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say like a lot of times when they put racial or like cultural elements into it, it come across as like fake, which that's what people be calling, oh, it's like a woke show or DEI show, because the shit don't seem genuine. But the way it's set up in this particular show, I got to give it to them. It makes sense. It goes along with the plot, and it's not like the overarching theme. It's just basically like fear is this universal concept, and here are how all these different cultures dealing with it and perceiving it. And then a lot of the way that the cultures interact actually makes sense with the plot. It drives the plot forward. So like the black people are suspicious of the white people, rightly so, but it makes sense with the plot. You know what I'm saying? And then like the natives have this basically confrontation. I don't want to use the word confrontation, but they basically have opposition with like the new white people that are coming in and drilling in the military and so on and so forth. So like that colonization is a natural opposition to their culture, but it makes sense with the plot. And again, it's not the main driving force. So shout out to it. You know what I mean? It ain't let me down yet. Not at all. All right. So normally, you know, this is where I'll be wrapping shit up a little bit. But like I said, and like you seen in the thumbnail, we got to talk about that 6ix9ine invasion. I don't know if this is the unluckiest nigga in the world or trouble just follow him or what the situation is. But boy, do controversy love this nigga named 6ix9ine. And that's what we dealing with today. Now, there's lots of speculation as to what really happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Check out my guy right here.
To my conspiracy theory on how they were able to obtain the surveillance footage so fast. But let's just take a look at the group of robbers, the home invaders.
I cannot stress that this is by far the most gentlest home invasion I ever seen in my life. Yo, I don't wish robbery on nobody, but if you go run in my house, I need you to be polite like these niggas right here. You know what I'm saying? I need you to come in gentle and soft and be like, excuse me, and knock on the door and put your gun on the side and do all that shit that they did there, because that ain't normal. But I digress.
Yo, Red. Yo. Y'all heard that? Let me rewind it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Danxa in the building. Yeah.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah. We back. So, I'm glad you're here because you got unique knowledge. Unique knowledge, a unique perspective.
All right, run me through what we're talking about here real quick.
Well, I mean, we just came right in. I mean, this is, I wrapped up the show, but we got to address the breaking news, which is the robbery of Tekashi 6ix9ine. Friend to the show. Very, 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 very cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He invited us in his home, He had food for us, drink. He made us feel very comfortable. He introduced himself as Danny. He's very humble, cool guy. Like most people we interview, most people we meet, in real life, if you met them, you'd probably fuck with them because people aren't famous for no reason. They have to have a personality and a vibe that go along with it. And 6ix9ine very much fits into that category. But world famous troll gets into shit in places where people don't get into shit, like LA Fitness. And, you know what I'm saying? And the mall. You know what I'm saying? And like just wild shit like that. So, you know, it's funny and curious to me that they are suspecting the Island Boys of all people of doing this because they are well-known clout chasers. They will do any and everything, and I do mean any and everything, for the bag. You know what I'm saying? They sat right here in that chair and was like, bro, it's all for clout. I kiss your brother for clout. And they have this really, really, really weird way of defending sus-ass shit.
Well,
do you agree, Danxa?
I wholeheartedly agree. The thing is that we have to pay attention to is they're all like the main point you said is everybody knows that this is something they do.
Right.
Right. Now, the question will be, was 6ix9ine in on it or was he not? Because you're talking about Jack Doherty. Obviously, the Island Boys are really good friends with them. And you're talking about the Island Boys and their antics all the time.
I feel you. And like I said, right? I say it on the show all the time. I'm a fan of crime. You know what I'm saying? I really am. So like, logistically, the shit don't make sense. Bro, like, from our point of view, we went there. The nigga lives in Wellington, Florida. Like, when you look on the GPS, it's just a road. Like, there's nothing else out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The shit don't even have street lights. You know what I'm saying? It's the safest place that you can live because there's fucking nothing around there. There's no gas station. There's no gang of kids running around Wellington, Florida, running up in there. The fucking driveway is like a mile long. You have to go through the back of the house. There's mad people there. So for this very quiet, like, hey, let us in. We're robbing the house. Come here, brother. Chill out right quick. Walk with us. You want a drink? We gonna come here. For that, like, when I think of robbery, you know what? I think of paid in full. Right? I think of kicking the door, waving the 4-4. You know what I'm saying?
Kicking the door, waving the 4-4.
Tie everybody up. Where's the fucking safe? Slap it with the gun. Like that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So like the fact that it's so far out, the fact that it's such a good neighborhood, right? And the fact that there was no violence, nothing crazy, all of it screams like, I don't know, man. That seems like if it wasn't the Island Boys, it's got to be some sort of inside job, especially since he was just making the whole case about why he needs to have armed security, he needs to have firearm access, all of that. And
all right, well, he's a friend of the show, so don't go ahead and fuck everything up, all right? Just in case. Don't fuck everything up, because it's 6ix9ine. He's a friend of the show.
He is a friend of the show. He's an excellent talker. And if he was here, he would explain all of that shit. He would say, before y'all clip this, I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Facts.
Facts.
Did I just run down on him? Facts. Shout out, Fred. Men make moves, sucker stand still. What's good, my boy? I see you tuned in. I would like to consider myself an individual that when I spot somebody, I spot somebody. I'm the type of dude that from a little kid, right, I could see a commercial pop up and I could see somebody's pant leg and I'm like, that's Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Right. I could see a silhouette of somebody taking a basketball shot and I'm like, that's Kevin Durant. That's Steph Curry.
So right? Who's that?
That's Kodiak Red. Right there. All right, those are the Island Boys. 100% sure.
Yeah, and listen, the reason why your perspective means so much is because we've had them here. and you've had this situation with them, so you know like their stance when they're quote unquote ready to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you see them up close. You know what I mean you know what it's like.
Man, it's plenty of times. That's them.
There we go.
Right there. Now, did they decide to get gangster and try to get him because they needed some money because they're fucked up? Possibly. Right? They said one of them has a fucked up leg. That's what 1090 Jake was speaking of. Maybe that's the one sitting over there in the corner.
But that was like a month ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And do I believe them anyways? No. Because they're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about people who legitimately create narratives all the time on the internet for people to watch. I keep trying to convince and talk to the supporters and the people that just avid YouTube viewers.
Right.
And I try to explain to them that 99.9% of the shit that they see on YouTube is fake.
Of course.
Right.
I like your boy say, even if it is true, it's cut up, dressed up, and turned into content.
Yeah.
So now it is fake. But the whole shit, I really want you to explain again, because you said it kind of fast earlier, is the link between them and Jack Doherty. Like, why is that important? Why does that make sense?
Well, you got Jack over there saying clearly he was nearby 6ix9ine's home because he mentioned seeing the cops pass.
Right.
Right. So they're streaming near the home. If the Island Boys, which are very good friends with Jack Doherty, which if they've created content plenty of times before, they've kissed. All three of them kissed. Okay.
All three of them?
Yeah, they kissed each other. Also, Jack Doherty has set up a fake robbery before. This isn't the first time.
There we go.
You got perfect intel. If the Island Boys did want to get 6ix9ine for whatever reason, they could just text Jack, because we are aware that they live near each other.
Right.
You know, so the Island Boys also live in that area. Now, the Island Boys also have a rap sheet. They've done a lot of robberies. They've been arrested for these things. So it's not impossible for anybody to believe that they did do something to this. The way they were treating Abuelita over there.
Would you call this a robbery, though? Because I don't even think they took anything. I think they just asked for stuff, walked around.
Yeah, and that's what I would expect them to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want one specific thing. They want the cash. They're probably not strong enough to carry anything else out of there. So they're like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. If we can't get the cash, we're out of here. I would totally expect that from them. If it's somebody else, right? Like if I'm going there and I go there with you to steal some shit, right, I'm taking the plaques off the wall.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Like I'm taking whatever I could get that looks valuable.
And that's what I'm saying. This right here does not look like an op.
No, they look like
and
they
that
might have
boy
took
got
food.
a pistol with an extended mag on him, so they came ready for whatever. Because you wouldn't need all that if you were just trying to steal.
I mean, they came looking like they was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can't blame Jake either because Jake doesn't know how the Island Boys operate.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's clearly the fucking. Yeah. Look at those legs, bro.
And it's two of them.
Yeah. And then there is another video that is on the internet of them outside walking his mom around.
Right.
And the nose is a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
You know, like no one knows the Island Boys knows like Danxa knows. You know what I mean? Like this is clear. It's clearly them.
Yeah,
It's them.
This the side by side.
I don't want to. I wouldn't. If the police brought forth different suspects, I will literally tell the police that they're in on it. That's how convinced I am that it's them. I would be like, you guys fucking did it. Fuck out of here. You're in on it.
But what about 6ix9ine's response saying that it definitely wasn't the Island Boys?
If I'm gonna be honest with you, that's where I'm at. A point where I'm like, who the fuck would do that?
Because it's a soft response. It's like,
well, what I'm saying about it is this. I don't do business with you, right? And somebody comes up to me and they say, Orlando did it. but I don't know you. Me and you, I don't know you. Just pick a random fucking person then, right?
Right.
And they're like, yo, so-and-so robbed your house. Nah, it definitely wasn't him. As soon as I say that.
Right.
Why the fuck would I say that?
Mad calm and shit, too.
Yeah, like I'm automatically taking these people off the fucking... Like everybody on the internet saying it's the Island Boys. My first reaction and anybody's first reaction would be, if I find out it's those fucking dickheads, I'll beat the fuck out of them.
Exactly.
That's the reaction.
Even if you ain't think it was him, where's the whole thing? Nah, fuck them, they pussy. There's no way the fucking Island Boys run up here. Where's all that? Where's all that?
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, no, I don't think it was them. I think they're
Yeah, he completely like gave them a way out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He grabbed Aiden's shoulders like, oh, buddy, it's not them, you know?
Yeah, so
yeah, it's them.
It's them.
The Island Boys invaded, willingly or unwillingly, 6ix9ine's home.
Said. And you was right about the AB shit.
Yeah.
You was right about the AB shit.
Oh, yeah, AB was going down.
Yeah. Because, all right, so I remember, right? Right after the whole AB shit went down, the little, right?
Yeah.
I ate this shit, right? I said, damn, so you was there, bro. Like, what the fuck happened, bro? Like, that nigga, somebody's trying to rob him self-defense? Dan just said, man, he shot that dude, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I was like, damn, for real? He's like, yeah, man, that's what happened.
Well, I didn't say he shot him because I didn't know if anybody was shot. And I don't know if this guy actually got shot, but shot at definitely happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. Some people are saying that the shots were in the air, whatever, but you go there, you see somebody, you see them run off with the joint, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You see them turn the corner, and within a fraction of a second you hear pew 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 pew, you know what I mean? So yeah, you hear that.
Yeah.
And then somebody is trying to convince you that this never happened. You know what I mean? It's like the only other thought process that could cross through my mind right there is maybe it's an Aiden Ross event thing, but then again, there's too many police involved. And that's the same thing with this 6ix9ine thing, right?
That's what I'm saying.
The police involvement changes everything, because you could definitely get away with any type of skit you want.
Right.
You could fabricate whatever the fuck you want, but when you get the police involved, now we're going to figure out two things. Are the Island Boys going to get arrested, or is 6ix9ine going to catch some extra charges?
Yeah, because that footage went to TMZ so fucking quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
hey guys.
Yeah.
I got something for you.
So yeah, we're not saying that 6ix9ine is Jussie Smollett. We're not saying that.
It's Jussie Smollett?
Yeah, Smollett. Yeah. We're not saying that you faked the whole subway robbery. But
it
looked fishy as fuck.
It definitely looked fishy. Shout out to AB though, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to 6ix9ine. He gets sentenced on Thursday. Wow. He doesn't want to get sentenced, you know. Your Honor, I gotta beat her. Did I just run down on him? I gotta be there for my moms.
Yeah. I mean,
they just ran in my mom's house with the blicky. Boom, boom. Yo, when you clip this, I want you to have the island, not the Island Boys, the white boys that was in my neighborhood, when they had a thing on them, and my mom was with them. When you clip this, Your Honor, I gotta go home. Facts. They gonna skip this part.
Yeah, none of that energy was there. None of that. That's the wildest shit to me. None of that energy was there.
Yeah.
And you was right about the AB thing, and you're probably right about this. So
yeah, you know who you see.
Yeah.
We're not dumb.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Trip to Orlando. Shout out to the special guest, Big Dan's in the building. And check me out next week, Tuesday. Go live every single Tuesday. Story of the week, TV show of the week, movie of the week. We out. You know I gotta run the theme song one more time. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Feeling the weight like a suitcase of stress. Time to pack it up and leave the mess.
Let's go.
Hop on a ride to a brighter glow. It's not just a trip, it's the ultimate show. Trip to Orlando, the getaway you need. Laughs and reviews at lightning speed.
All right.
Trip to Orlando where fun runs free.
All right.
Your ticket to the stars and celebrity.
Next week, y'all.